want to carry your university next morning. Your class is ending today. I've told you before. Concentrate. From now till Thursday. You know, more than a week. Okay, that is exactly 1 week now. Today is Thursday now. Alright, so let's look at drill through, right? Power BI drill through. Power BI drill through. Power BI is a feature that allows users to navigate. It's a feature that allows users to navigate from a high-level summary, to a more detailed view, of specific data. Detailed data. Now, if you look at the term drill through, that is what? You are trying to extract some additional what? Information from a summarized value. Just like the way, okay, with the one we use table that time, get the other time, so we are trying to measure its performance. Let me try and create a simple report. So let's say here I'm analyzing city against 5% tax. Against 5% tax. I need to switch to someone's system so I can finish this. I don't know what had just happened to this laptop, whether it's virus. Yeah, it is. Okay, I think it has shown, but let me see if it happens again. I will just switch. I will have completed everything I want to teach since. Okay, so I will have increased the value, but I may go there and I might take another minute. Now, you can see that we have 15,000 plus as the total 5% tax paid by all the customers. Now, if we are asked to drill through, meaning this value is the total transaction from Mandalay City, right? Now, we want to further break it down. You can be asked questions like, okay, now break this value down per what? Gender. Because what you have here is the total of what? Everything. It's a summarized value. So you can be asked to further what? Break it down. That is where you are now drilling through. That is what you are going through this to get more details about it. And that detail will be outputted in another header. For example, now you cannot view the detail again under Mandalay. You are viewing the total of 5% tasks of Mandalay. So I can decide to drill through this value for gender. Drill through this value of cost or any other header or product line. So it's actually used to view details of a summarized value. Now, but you have to work with 2 pages. The first page is the summary page, where you have the summary of those values that you want to drill through. And it is recommended that you present it with what? With graph. So for example, now if I hover on this, once I'm done with my drill through, if I hover on this, which we output the value, it will now give me the drill through option that I can now use to further break this down. So which means that this is my main page. So to continue writing your step, create the summary page reports. So this particular page I have now, I will refer to it as the summary page report. So this is where I have the summarized value that I want to break down through the drill through. So once you have done that, your next step is create the detailed page. So I'll create another page. We just name that page detail, or give it any descriptive name. So let me just name it detail. So in other words, what we are saying is that when I click on this, when I drill from here, it will output the result in what? This page. Did you get the logic, what we are trying to achieve? Now, you know, you hover on this, and it's giving you what? The summary of everything. Now, let's say you want to break this down per gender now. So when you now click on it, it will now break it down per gender here. Now, which means that on this detail page, you have a table that is breaking that value down per what? Gender. So that when you drill from there, it will output it based on the model you have already programmed here. So I'll create a table here. So this table or this model is to display the what? The drill through information. Now, you need to be mindful of the headers you are using to build this detailed report. The headers should have a way of aligning with what you use in this summary. So here we analyze city against what? 5% tax. Now in my drill through, I may want to break it down per product line. So what I'm going to do is to create product line against this same what? 5%. You can see the way I align it now. I cannot bring in another which is not the root of what generated the value you are drilling through here. For example, now you can't go and use rating. Because the question you ask yourself, if you use rating in your summary report, did you summarize the value based on rating? The answer is no. I thought I have just only one here. So now I have my detailed model. I can say, okay, you can add multiple header. From this product line, I can say, okay, I will also want it to be simplified based on gender. Still loading. here.
Yes, yeah, this one.
This one, what I did now has not activated now, as it should. Okay, it has even applied.
Yeah, it applied.
Okay, this is what you are talking about, have you? So if I add it now, what now?
Now, this thing will be a product line. It's not distinct. Right, so just pick one of the product line, do male and female. Then one of the
okay, let's see. Where did we? I think that one I clicked was added under product line. Right? It came before. Was it after product line?
Yes, it was after product line.
Okay, so I want to change the order and see.
Now, see, that's what to do.
Okay.
It's still segregating it with the name of the product line. One for the one for female. Is that how Powerbi is? So if it's Excel now, Excel
yes, it will group it. To group you can expand and collapse.
Yes.
Let me see. It's like I've removed something.
That's the 5% tax.
Let me add it again. Let me just complete what.
Product line.
No, let me use. I think I will have higher values here. Products. This one should like come first. Okay, so let's just continue first. I will try and see what I can do on that. Okay, now we have the 2 pages ready. So this is where we are going to drill from, and this is where it's going to output the answer. So now, while you are in the detailed page, not in the summary page, you will see the drill through command here. Can you see it here? Add what? Drill through field here. So which of the field you are adding here? The field that will determine the breakdown from the summary page to this page. So in this case now, I want to drill through with gender. I don't have gender there, right? The only one that should be constant is the value, the one for value. Yes, that one must not be changed. It must be there. If you use it there, you must use it.
And if you change the one for summary page,
no, you can go ahead if you have, if you are working alongside with me, if I change from, you can change it to gross income. But I used that 5% as before. So, okay, that means I have changed this one too. I have to change this one. Yeah, you are correct. So let me also change this to gross income so that it will align. Okay. Now, take note of the step. You have to be on what? The detail page, because if you try to do what I want to do now in the summary page, it will not work. So you need to know which of the page you are to be to activate what? The detailed page where you want to give the breakdown. Then you will now add, like I said, I am drilling through with what? Gender. So I will now add the gender field here. So once you add it, you see this icon generated. So this is an indication that what? You have activated what? Drill through. Now, if you hover on it to tell you that you control plus click so that it will switch to what? That is what there's a connection. That's what it means. So once you click to bring you here. Now, if you hover on this, if you right click on this, you will now see, you are supposed to see the drill through here. Please, let's do it. I don't know what is wrong with my Powerbi. A lot of things are not working. No, this is the whole of it now. As I right click here now, you are supposed to see drill through. Then when you now follow it, you now see the name of this detail. So when you click on it, you now output the results. Okay, let's try it. use your own to print. Here is the first page. Here's the graph. This is a graph. Show me the graph. City, although you want to break the city down, there was product good. So now, let's add the link to field here. Let's add the this product. Start Powerbi again and this way. Save it, save the page and yeah? Let me see it. So version you have to hover on it. While some you have to click depending on the version. You know, they have different. You have started that way? Here is yours. Page 5 is your summary page. What did you use here? What did you analyze here? What did you use to create the other one? Some of what? Per what? And then this one again, product line. No, no, it won't work. I use another header. We are breaking product line. Okay, maybe another header here. But this one should make us another option.
You know, I use different. This one was
this city, then you are breaking it down per product. Then it should work. In as small as I generated this, it means there's connection. So it's from the software. I want to know. Sometimes you may just be starting and I should start showing. But all we need now is for you to update. To update it here. Once you right click now, you now see the page. So it has not updated. It has not updated. It's supposed to update it. Now that you do it, it has to update it. You need to see the green shoe here. We have done the right thing. We cannot add this here. But this is not going to do the green. So that's it's from the software. It used to be like that sometimes. Let me still try.
Just create another one while that one is there. Create another 2-page different header. Use another header. Trying to. See that this one it has shown now. This is what we are looking for. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Now, as soon as I click on it like this, you can see the way it's showing the 2 pages. This is the one I just created now. Once I click here now, so it has broken it down per city.
So you didn't like do anything different for it to show.
I created another one.
What's your main page?
Let me see.
Later your main page.
Now, what I did is this. You know, we are adding a gender here before, right? I added that same gross income as the drift-through.
Okay. That's the constant one.
Yes.
That value that is summarized in the main reports. That is what I repeated as drift-through. Let me even check the other one.
Who is working now?
Hmm?
Working now.
Which one do you use?
Same constant for as it is.
The other one, Abi?
So, but you should be able to interpret it. Let's see whether we can interpret it. Let's see whether we can interpret it, because that is what matters. If you cannot interpret it, then it makes no sense. Let me format it so I can see it. Please, let's hold on. Let's interpret it before we end the class. Now, this detailed report is analyzing what? Total. Kevin, are you with us? This detailed report, in case you use it in your project defense, you must break it down this way. You must tell us what this one is doing. this detailed report is giving us the breakdown of the gross income per what? Per city, right? Now, I want to pay attention. Remember that the total we are supposed to have should be 15 point something, right? But instead of that, we are getting total of what? 7,000 plus. Why? Because from the main page, you only work on female. You say you needed what? The breakdown of it for only female. You dig through for only female. Now let me go and dig through for what? Male. Now we go back and check those figures. So if as I'm drilling through now to this page, you see it now. So this is the breakdown for what?
Male.
For male. Now I can change it here. From here now, this report, I can say, okay, I want to break it down per payment. No longer what? City. So let me activate what? Payment. But let me bring payment first before this. Now, what we are presenting now from your main page, if you hover on this, remember that your main page, what you did is that you visualize the total of gross income per gender. And now, you are now asked to break this down per payment. As in, this is for male, right? Gender. Then you are asked, okay, this value that you have derived for, this is the total gross income for what? Male. Now, give us the breakdown of this value per payment. That is what we want to put in your detailed page now. Did you understand it? Let's start it this way. Your main report is what you should focus on first. In your main report, you have just two unique what? Values. Summarizing the values of what? Gross income against them. Male and what? Female. So if I hover on this, the report I'm getting now, if I'm to interpret it to my stakeholder, is what? The total gross income generated from male customer is equal to what? 7,384 naira, right? Now, they now ask you, can you break this value down? You want to know the percentage of cash as one of the payment methods in this 7,000. You want to know the one of credit card in this same 7,000. You want to know the one of e-wallet in this same what? 7,000. That is what you are now achieving with what? Drill through. That is why in your drill through page, you now constructed your model in alignment with what you want to achieve from your main page. That is why I use what? Payment. And I still maintain what? The same what? Gross income. Because I am drilling the male for only what? This unique what? Payment for that same what? Gross income. So if I come here now, if I right click here and I select drill through and I select the page where I have already created the model that will give me the what? The detail of what I want to view. Once I click here now, it will now reanalyze it. And it will always give you the total. This total you are seeing here is the total that you have there when you hover on it. That is what confirms that yes, this is the breakdown of the value in the summary page. So here now, let's just do it again for city. Let me delete this. Let me delete this and do it for city. So in my main page, let me delete this also. So let's start now. So my main page, in my main page, after this one now, I think that's the end. In my main page, I want to summarize using the graph. I want to summarize city. I want to summarize city. Summarize gross income per city. Now, if I hover here, Power BI is telling me that what? Napite only generated what? 5,000 plus. If I hover here, Yagon generated what? 5,000 plus. If I hover here, Mandalay generated what? No, they are almost the same number. Now, we want to break this value, this Napite value, we want to break it down per product line. So in other words, we have about 8 unique word products, and we want to know how much of this value is allocated to what? Each of what? Those products. So based on that question, I'll go to my detail page. So my detail page now will now inform me the kind of model. So I'm going to use table because I'm going to be aggregating. I am detailing, so I will use table. So my table now, from what I want to answer, I will now determine the headers I'm going to work with. I said I want to break down what? Napite value per what? Product line. Which means that what? This table should carry what? Product line against that same gross income. So what you want, the detail you want to get will determine the header you will use to build your detail table. Now, your drill through will now be, oh, it's already here. It's already showing. Now, let me go back there and check now, because what you have here right now, before we go there, what you have here now is the total for what? Electronic. Total for what? Fashion. Now let's go to our main page and over here. So from here now, I'll say drill through to this page. Now if you come back now, the value have changed. And what is it presenting now? The city you hovers on or you right click on, which is what? Napite. The percentage of its electronic is what you are seeing here now from that city. Because the electronic that we were having here before was electronic from all the cities when you have not drilled through. But now that you drill through now, what you are not having now is electronic for only that particular city. I believe it's clear now. So let's use the salary payroll data. So you are going to, your main report, you analyze department. This one is class 1. Department against basic salary. Then you now drill through, give me the breakdown per state. You have not adjusted what we did with that. Where is it?
I'm on that laptop.
Where is it? Where is the detail page? Now, you see this person in your model. You put the gross income there. That is high. The gross income. That means that you remove that for product and right? Grab gross income and put it there. Yes. That is how it's done. No, we are putting string there. Instead of putting. It will work now. It will work now. If you right click now, you will see the page. Yes. The mistake we were doing before was that we were putting a string value there instead of the header that have the value that you are summarizing. You are using that salary page and your summary page. You are analyzing department against basic salary. Then you are giving me the breakdown of each department per state in your detail page. page, I mean, basic salary per department, please. Then you break it down per city, sorry, per state.
Breaking department per state.
Yes, you are breaking it down per state. That same basic salary, you have analyzed with departments. MS, is that what you are doing? Have you done this? Okay, you don't have that data.
Sorry, that was. Well,
Have you done this?
do basic salary and state and first.
It means that the bid through field is the basic salary.
Basic salary.
The bid through field, you add basic salary there. That is what we number now. Instead of the mistake we were making before. How did you got your? Let me see your laptop. What did you add here? This is your personal money. You can see that, see what you break down now. Does not make sense. This is swing, this is swing. Why? Because it's not department that you're supposed to add here. You add basic salary so that you have to list this one. You don't know.
What you are having is an order of where's your little piece?
Now, you can actually have multiple detail pages. That same main report, you can be asked to break it down per what? The one you did now is per what? The one you did now is per what? You break it down per state, I mean. Now create another detail page, target and maybe per grade. Another one, targets, which other header can we use here? Yes. Now, from that, each time you right click on that main page graph, it will now be listing all those detail pages. So that depends on you, which breakdown do you want to analyze. So let's quickly do that, please. Add additional 2 detail pages that we can break down the main summary into. Is it working now? So right now you have just 1 detail page. So you're going to create another detail page, 2 of them, but you will not be targeting the same thing. This one is breaking it down per what? State. So maybe the other will be what? Grade. Another will be for maybe status. But it's just one main page we are having. How about this one? No. Why are you saying where is your main page? What did you analyze first? Department and what basic salary? This is department, have it? And this is salary. Then your detail page. Where is your detail page? So detail page is having if you also want this thing. Go to basic salary. Where is it? This one. You understand? Now, you want to grab this thing. Good. Yeah, good. Now you should go now if you want. So I think we should add additional 2 detail pages.
But you are not creating the main page again. Just that you want to be breaking it down. If this one is broken down per what? Department. No, this department.
This J2 you can do multiple pages.
Yeah, that's the class work has to add to so that we can check it. No limits. You can create your detailed page up to like 5, 6, even no limits. But you just have to have one summary page, which means from that page you'll be breaking the value down to those various detailed pages. Once you have created it, next time you go and right click and see that group, you will see those pages. Then you now be the one to specify which one you want to apply.
So it says this place now, add the one at the beginning.
Yes, the one with the summary. Change it from the one that put summary. Give a summary. So we can also use continue. Yes, maybe. Yeah, this is second detail page now. The one you created, this is the second one, not the first one.
This is the first one.
You deleted the one you were sharing before.
This is the first detail page.
What is the second detail page?
By grade.
Well, let's go to the main page. Right, I want to. So yeah, like click on one of the bar. You can see all of them. So anytime you are asked questions that have to do with this one, you select that to do with this one. Have you added the other one?
Yes, sir.
How many is
Okay, two. And you can be able to move from one to another. Have you created your additional one? Any question? Alright, so that brings us to the end of Power BI. Continue expanding your skills, your knowledge on all the programs you have learned so far. There's still room for you to research. Whether you like it or not, new things will be added tomorrow. You might open Power BI next 3 years now. You see different features. Do we have any question? And we are ready for the project defense now. We are all ready. MSc is now ready. Yes, you have to dress corporate too. It's like I forgot to inform you guys on that the other day. You have to dress. Nobody is wearing palm sandal.
And G.
If you dress casual, you will not be allowed to defend. Please, I beg you. You know the way you used to dress when you are going for interview. You know the way you used to dress when you are going for interview. This is the first interview now, so. Yes. So the only thing I would advise us now, for those of you that want to go into remote jobs, seeking, once you graduate now, you shift your focus to building your portfolio. That is the next thing you should start doing now. You start building your portfolio.
Build websites.
Build your portfolio.
Yes.
All kinds of sites. Yes.
So, sometimes, some of us, it's not easy for us to maintain websites, portfolio. Though it's more recognized, but you can chest it because it's expensive. You will host. The person that will design it for you will collect his own fee. The space you are going to be uploading what you have done, you will pay for it yearly. And sometimes you have not even, you are still seeking for a job and you have already started spending much. Though it is good if you can take the step, because if 3 different people apply for a remote job and one person now send Facebook address as the place where he has displayed some of the work he has done. And that person has sent a website. And that person has sent GitHub. They will leave GitHub and Facebook. In fact, Facebook will be the first person they will delete. Because you know that that person has not really spent much. He does not need that
So
job.
it's not about spending.
No, yeah, it's about commitment. Let me use that word. They know that for you to be paying for the hosting name of your website and you uploading your stuff there, you are not, you are not a beggar to an extent. You have managed money, you have money. Because most companies want to hire people that are exposed to making money to an extent, not people that, because they believe that people that have not worked before, they are the ones that will say they don't have money. And they are looking for working experience. So, and they believe that for you to go to that extent of using website to create your portfolio, you value the job. You value the job. You are apt to look for job. You know, there are people that are looking for job, but they are not looking for job. You see, there's some CV, but they are not ready to work. That is just the truth. So these are where they rate you. You can consider GitHub. GitHub is free. GitHub, you can upload live code. For websites, you may not be able to upload live code. So GitHub is one of even the most recognized one based on these days. What they do is that GitHub, when you send your GitHub accounts to them, you can make it public so that the other person can edit the code. If for any reason they want to even, if you send me your GitHub account now and you have done some coding, maybe you are doing some analysis with Python, I can work directly from your GitHub account with the data you must have uploaded and all the code you have written. I can manipulate the code. It depends on you making it public. But if you make it private, they can only see what? The code, but they cannot manipulate it. So all you need to do is just to go and, it's something you can actually do on your own. You can just go and watch YouTube video on how to create what? GitHub account. They'll give you your ID, just like the way you have the Facebook ID. Then you learn how to manage it, just like the way they taught you how to manage email. You know, when you create an email account, you learn how to manage, how to compose, how to delete, how to draft. So the features are there. Now, what you will now be doing is that you go to each of these programs that you have graduated from. Start with Advanced Excel. Do some analysis, do some formatting. Then screenshots their images, upload it there. Add description. Tag the project. Describe the data just like the way you are going to present it to us now. Right there, and you know when you get to cargo, you see the way they documented details about data. You detail it like that, everything, put your name there, mention your expertise there, maybe you are a data analyst or a data scientist, put it there, then you undertake this project, and this is what is expected. These are the questions, these are the insights you derive, you put their screenshot images there. Then you take Python. So you just keep populating that repository with different work that you have done. Because when they want to employ you, let me tell you, certificate is the last thing they will consider. Because some of you came to NIT because certificate is the last thing they will consider, not the first thing. Certificate will come in after you have been confirmed that you are capable of doing it. Most remote jobs, they don't even prioritize certificates. It's all these enterprise jobs. Maybe you be employed as full-time staff. They are the ones that will go through all those procedures. But remote job, what they are after is what? Is capacity. And the only way they want to know that you can do it is not you telling them, it's what you have done. That is why portfolio is very important for you to secure a remote job. And that portfolio, the day you are posting it matter. Because that is a mistake from you do. When you start looking for the job, maybe after you have applied, that is when you now go upload. You know, when you upload on Facebook, the date your phone is there. So now that you are here to start applying now, you have to start creating the history. So that when they go there, you say, this person uploaded this work 3 months ago, 2 months ago. So that is what you have to go and focus on if you are going to look for a remote job.
For this presentation on Thursday and Friday, let's see. Extend the time back.
I'm not extending any time.
There's no too sudden.
When
Sudden, I feel like it's too sudden.
when all of you are fixed.
Let's I don't wake up for 6.
It's not this Friday now.
Next Friday.
It's not this Friday.
It's too sudden.
You don't understand.
So the way they analyze.
Huh? Why should you do this December?
She sent some questions that are too
For me, I use Excel. In order to write down my observation and recommendation, share is PowerPoint that we use.
Observation and recommendation.
Share na for PowerPoint that we write.
Yeah, those should be captured in your summary reports.
Whether it's PowerPoint or
After all the individual insights you have derived from each of those reports, you now come to PowerPoint and summarize all those insights.
even if we're working with Powerbi, even if we're working on
All of them, there must be executive reports.
Hey.
That executive report is the final one that you present to the stakeholder. For
Even
example, now,
after- even after
you know when
the
you,
dashboard,
yes,
you
yeah, yeah, of course. On your own, that dashboard, as you are slicing, you are getting different value, you are documenting what you are seeing. Then you not go to PowerPoint and sit down. You not collate all of them. Like we call it conclusion. There must be conclusion. How can you just be analyzing without conclusion? Conclusion is your final. Yes. Those observations under your conclusion, that is where you have your observation, that is where you have your recommendation. That's the conclusion, what you have arrived at after all the individual reports studied. You know, you must have studied all the reports, the insights each of them are producing. Then you will now have a way of writing everything like a whole sentence.
How many minutes for one?
It's 10 minutes.
It's too small. Because me, I like to talk for like 30 minutes. So I will be explaining.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
That means,
And then you do your defense.
so,
Or you could do on Sunday, so you do from here, you just go do Thanksgiving for church.
I'm serious. So we use PowerPoint, yeah?
if you don't want to use PowerPoint, you can dedicate a page in Powerbi. Even in Excel. But you use PowerPoint to do your summary.
It's possible for you to do your work.
So it's in that PowerPoint that you explain your data set, you explain the questions.
I have explained all these things
Yes.
that day.
That video.
Watch that video. Watch that video.
I think the only thing I did not explain is this executive report, the final one. I don't know whether I captured it.
I'm serious, don't give me 30 minutes because my data set is very interesting and it's relatable.
Is it UK, is it US data set?
Yes.
Because that one I would like to know about, let me look at anything happening there.
No, it's not US though. And this Nigeria will be.
We cannot give you 30 minutes. 30 minutes, how many of you?
I have 20.
How many of you?
I give you 20 minutes. Even 5 minutes to work itself.
So that is like.
Rush through your data. What you want to do? Nah. Are you trying to convince?
An average of 15 minutes is what is allocated.
What are you telling me?
10 minutes is for your presentation. 5 minutes is for questions.
Oh.
So you indirectly say it's 10 minutes.
So if we now see that you overuse the time, we will not shorten the questions. That's what we might use.
I mean, I could use my 15 minutes.
So when we discover that you have used 15 minutes, I will not give room for too many questions. I will just only one question so that we can move on to the next